Thank you so much for listening to the KJNA podcast. You can email us at kjnapodcast@gmail.com.
Give us a call or text or leave us a message at 858-848-KJNA. That's 5562.
You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, TikTok, Blue Sky, and YouTube at KJNA Podcast.
Don't forget, we have 6 hours of bonus content over on our Patreon, patreon.com/KJNA Podcast. And if you want to donate to us, find us at buymeacoffee.com/KJNA Podcast.
Thank you so much for listening.
Love you.
Hey there, and welcome to another episode of the KJNA Podcast, dealing directly with Devil May Cry. My name is Jay.
And my name is Kevin, and I am... Says it right there. Hold on. It says it right there. The K.
The K, he said. And episode 7 of Devil May Cry is entitled At the Gates of Paradise. I mean...
What's the paradise?
Your perspective is as good as mine.
Which means no idea.
Yeah. So, as always, let me give you the rundown of the voice cast. Dante, Johnny Young Bosch, Mary, Scout Taylor Compton, White Rabbit and the pilot as Hoon Lee. The Knight is Robbie Damon. Cavalier is played by Jason Marnaka. Anders, Benjamin Abiola. Baines and the Demon Soldier, Kevin Conroy. Enzo and the Frat Boy, very short, Chris Coppola. So that's all we have for the voice cast. And let's get into that meat.
What's up, VHS heads? I'm Matt. Join me and my two broskies, Chris and Dave, on our movie comparison podcast, The VHS Abyss, putting two movies from the golden age of cinema against each other. Whether it's a teenage soldier head-to-head, like Red Dawn versus Toy Soldiers, or simply picking two from a back catalogue of icons of the VHS era, like Roddy Piper or Jamie Lee Curtis. Whatever link we can find between two films, we've got you covered. With facts, gaffes and plenty of laughs along the way, join us on all podcast platforms to discover who will be crowned champion of the episode. We are the VHS Abyss. Whether it's a hit or a miss, we love to reminisce.
All right, let's see. So this one was lots of fighting on rooftops, like the last two episodes are. I mean, it's all fighting on rooftops.
Yeah, I feel like episode 6 was basically our, like, let's take a look back at people's motivations and what they're doing and how all the stories kind of, like, combine together. And, again, probably the best episode of the entire first season.
Yes.
And now we're here for, like, the climactic final battles that will lead us to the very end, which, again, we're already, like, basically there.
Yeah.
Basically there.
Yeah, so I think this is mostly the one... the rabbit, White Rabbit, has blood that supposedly is Dante's brother's blood.
Yeah, so he goes to Makai, traverses the terrible climate and atmosphere, coughs a little bit, adjusts his little device on his chest, ends up in what looks like a broken down shrine, and meets up with this demonic horned knight.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently he's made a deal with this knight because the knight knew that Dante had the other half of the amulet and that Dante was the son of Sparta. Ooh, what? How did he know all that since he's living in Makai? How would that knight know? How would he know?
How is this possible?
So the knight has a vial that has Virgil's blood, and he puts the little blood onto the amulet. It reacts to it. And then the knight gives over those two objects, but takes the sword of Forsage.
You're not strong enough for this.
Yeah.
This isn't for you.
It's like, you shouldn't be doing that. But, seeing that I'm going to unshackle people from Mundus's rule, I think I'll hold on to it for a little bit longer.
And he's like, well...
Yeah.
But
see, the Horned Knight's like... come on, dude. The rabbit's like, I know who you are. You know?
And dude's like, "Boo."
He is so mad about that shit. He's
Oh
like,
yeah, he doesn't say.
fuck?
Yeah, just the rest of the time he's like,
yeah, with a little low growl as the rabbit walks back through the portal and tells his little demonic troops, get ready. Dante's showing up, and then we get the opening credits, and then Dante and Lady go back and forth like, I'm gonna go because this is what I need to do, versus Dante, who's like, it's my family's legacy. My demonic powers tell me that I have to do this. He's like taking a lot of responsibility for what's going on. And Mary's like, nope, shoots him in the fucking leg and is like, yeah, you're going to play right into the rabbit's hand because he needs your blood to undo the seal. Get in the fucking truck, shut the fuck up.
He's like, you're literally the only thing he needs, and you're just going to go to him?
Exactly. So, locked in truck, she takes off, literally steals a car, again, from this frat boy.
Yeah. He's like, hey, baby.
Gun in mouth. Get out of the car.
He's like, oh.
It is insane how physics works in animation. It's literally insane.
Yeah, how it works exactly to her to her specifications. Where she like shoots the tire of the tow truck, and she's like, "I'm sorry about this." Or
is that personal?
Whatever. Yeah, it's not personal. Sorry.
Like, okay, so it's a vehicle hauling or a car hauling truck. Shoots out the ramp comes down, shoots out the tire, shoots out the control mechanism, and she's like, it's not personal. Runs up the ramp with the car that she stole from dude. The rabbit's already told his troops, hey, he's here, thinking that it's Dante and not Lady that's showing up. So she flies onto the roof. Apparently he's already called for this little demon called Bloodstrike who has his little blood canisters on his back. Then he jumped from small demon to huge hulking demon with big ass wings and a freaking claw pincer. She slams the car into him. Then shoots the car.
I was very upset about that. I was very upset about because I have it written here. One of the notes is Bloodstrike was the cutest little boy.
Now, if you remember from one of the past episodes, we were talking about that the White Rabbit had been doing experiments on the orphans of the Macayans who had come over because they didn't have parents, so there was nobody stopping him from experimenting on these children. Apparently, Bloodstrike must have been one of those children because he went from being itty bitty little boy to big hulking demon.
Yeah, and it took one car.
Yeah. She shot the freaking gas tank and blew that sucker up with him, and then he falls to the ground, and apparently a big little blood splash, and you're like, oh, he's got to be dead after that. Man. Right? Car lands on the roof, and she's like, who were you expecting? Another demon asswipe?
Yes.
It's so mean.
It's been like a few days. So what is the butterfly song? I said fucking butterfly song. I can't remember what that was.
Crazy Town. It's by Crazy Town, and Butterfly was a big early 2000s.
Oh, it was the
90s.
music. It was the music.
Yes,
okay,
it was the music.
Okay. I couldn't remember what that was referring to. I was like,
it's after she locks Dante.
Detailed.
Yeah, it's actually she locks Dante in the truck, and then it starts playing. You're like, oh, and it really kind of like goes into the whole scene because the guy's playing it on his radio in his car when Lady takes it from him. Only for her, okay. Because then she's like, let me negotiate with you. I will give you Dante's life because she's got him in a truck. And you know the trucks are armed with these
and he's like,
incinerators.
What are you negotiating with?
Yeah.
She's like, you're going to give me the necklace and the sword. And he's like, what are you negotiating with? She's like, Dante's life. And he's like,
no blood equals no apocalypse. And no apocalypse means, oh no, you can't save all those Macayans that you want to save. So he's like, fine, take the damn amulet. I won't kill anybody. But then as soon as she gets the amulet and she starts walking away, he's like, aren't you forgetting something? Unless this is a bluff. In which case... And
she's like, oh no. Clink.
Car starts playing the music, then explodes, and she's like, kill her.
Yeah.
So... obviously, Cavalier's like, sure, fuck yeah. She's like killed basically everybody else I know. Go ahead and murder her. Dante finally shows up. He starts fighting off the demons. But apparently...
all they need to do is nick him. once.
Yeah, one blow, because all they need is like a little bit of blood. Doesn't matter how much, just a little bit to finally undo the spell.
Yeah, and they could not. Could not.
It's not even that. Their blades are coated in a toxin that is similar to a kidney's paralyzing agent. Lady gets hit with it, so she's on the ground when Dante finally shows up.
Yeah,
and he charges in just headstrong. You gotta love him for it. But I did love the Rabbit's line when he was talking to Lady during the negotiations. He was like, "How do you fit those balls in that skin tight uniform?"
I had that written down too, and I was like, "That's good. That's good."
Like on the one hand, oh snap, that is kind of spot on, but also like, bro, that's kind of sexist too, bro. You gotta calm down with that.
Well, I mean, like, I don't know. It kind of evens out. Because, he's talking about the skin tight uniform, which is kind of sexist, but then saying balls in the uniform, it kind of brings it back to an even ground where you're like, you know what? It's not really so sexist because he's saying she butchers fuck.
She got the cojones to get shit done.
Yeah, she has the cojones. We're not talking physical cojones. We're talking about metaphorical cojones.
Now, when Dante shows up, I love the line, "I've got bad news. You didn't get that call back from the Chuck E. Cheese band auditions."
Yeah.
Like, dang, bro. I love these like deep cuts. Again, how many people even know what Chuck E. Cheese is? Because we've got at least 2 in the Richmond area, but you can't find them outside of that, from what I know.
I heard they were closing, I thought, but I'm unsure for sure. Anyways,
tell us in the comments.
Yeah,
do you know what Chuck E. Cheese
let us
is?
know. But they also wrote, and I quote, "fucking bazooka knife," because we had talked about it.
Oh yeah,
You were like, "Oh, it's great. She uses it to great effect." I was like, "I don't give a. Why would you put a knife on a bazooka?"
Okay.
I don't give a shit if it is like a Rambo knife. Like, fuck that.
In my defense, when saying this, because she barely uses it, she uses like maybe to kill, not even kill. Maybe like harm a couple of people, but that's about it. Now in the games, totally different story. Totally different story.
No, I mean, like, she did use it to good effect in the movie. Like,
I mean, yeah.
in the series, because like she killed like 4 or 5 demons with it. She'd just be like, shank, shank, like shoot the bazooka over there, shank, shank, and I'm like, God damn it!
But
like,
she didn't even use the mini rockets.
Oh, there's mini rockets.
Yeah, those 2. Okay, so when she loses it before she gets paralyzed, you can see these 2 kind of rectangular extensions on the side.
Oh, that's right. So it's like cluster missiles sort of shit.
Yep. So what she would do, the barrel's propped up to the sky. She hits it on the ground, and there's a kick ignition for them. And all she has to do is press down, and the missiles shoot out from there, and they're like little scatter missiles.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. Like cluster.
Yeah, the little cluster bombs. That shit is so fun to watch her do in the games. Well, I wish she had used those.
But yeah, when I saw that, what's funny is the same exact thing that I said to you. It went through my head at the time. I watched it and I was like, "Who the fuck makes these?" And I went, "Wait." Jay said there was one person who does all the weapons and all the things. And I was like, "So that's probably who made this shit."
Goldstein.
Yeah. So I was like, "Yeah." I just answered my own question. It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. So once Dante shows up, the White Rabbit's like, "Let me show you what you're fighting for. Let's go to your daddy's homeland, where Mundus, the king who had your family murdered, resides. Come on."
Yeah.
Yeah, Dante
he walks in and...
Yep. He's like, "I can't breathe here." Yeah, this is what your dad did. He put up a wall. Guess what that does? It keeps the powerless. I was like, damn, again. Like, Adi Shakar just being like, "Hey, this is what the world is like in real life."
Like I said, the best bad guys have good intentions, taking it the worst, doing it the worst way. Not that that's in conjunction with what's happening in the world today, but
No. Yeah, keeping the powerless in their place, though, it has a lot of tone, and it can carry to a lot of different situations. Dare I say, slavery. Dare I say, sex trafficking. I will say a lot.
Yeah, there's so much that it could be.
Keeping the powerless in their place can be put into so many different categories.
Yeah, because that's just how monarchies and all sorts of shit like that work.
Dare I say, oligarchy.
Oh!
Oh no! Why would I say such a thing? So controversial.
So controversial.
Yes. Oh yes.
And then I would say Dante won in one punch.
Yeah. I mean,
One punch.
After having to toil with so many.
With all the other. Against the White Rabbit.
Yeah. Once Cavalier kicks Dante through the portal, and then the White Rabbit's like, go and help him take care of business and get me that blood. Then he's left with Mary, and that's when they finally have that little banter about what really set things in motion. She said she saw his little pegboard about revenge and destroying Darkcom, and he's like, yes. It's kind of funny how all of our traumas, families dying, has led all three of us here. Dante, you, and I. And he pulls off his freaking rabbit head and finally shows that he
shit off and
shows that he's the kid or the young man that she left for dead in that freaking warehouse years ago.
Yeah. And she is like, whoa.
That's impossible. Your team left me for crippled, almost unable to survive.
Yeah, and then.
Yep. So he has to have a constant cocktail of demon blood in him to help him stay alive just long enough so he can see his plan through to the bitter end.
Yeah, he knows he's gonna die. He's like, full on.
He's
like,
accepted.
I'm dead. Yeah, but he's like, I'm gonna do as much as possible before.
Yeah.
And I still don't understand how he sewed that shit on so he was able to talk like a real rabbit, because it would have been a completely different story if it was just a mask, and then when he talked, you saw like a like it's a Batman villain. That would have been totally different.
One of his best lines, though, is delivered in this episode. I am your masterpiece, Lieutenant Arkham. As he just lords over her, showing her the burn scars, the tubes leading from his pump to his nose to give him enough strength to keep up his vitality to destroy everything she holds dear, just as she did unto him.
Mm-hmm. And then they get into that fight, and you think it's you're thinking they'd be done.
Oh no.
I forgot how this one ends though, because I don't think I wrote that one down.
So basically Dante hits that one punch.
Yeah.
Nearly knocks the White Rabbit off the roof, but catches him by the amulet, and then the White Rabbit says, I gave you the chance to end this. I want you to remember that you had the chance, but you let it go.
Mm-hmm.
And what will happen would not have happened. He cuts the amulet chain and he falls into the river. And then Bane shows up with Darkcom, and the pilot's like, oh, what the hell did this? Or what happened? And then Bane's is like, our first strike in the Holy War. The first of many to come.
God, it's always got to be a religion thing.
Again, I mean, when you start talking about hell, what do you think's going to happen? It's going to be a holy war. But again, this really breaks down that man does not tolerate what it does not understand. And they do not understand Makai, but they are willing to destroy it on the pretense from a biblical story that says that hell is bad.
Yeah.
And that everything from hell is corrupted.
Yeah. That's hooray! Humans.
Yep. So,
Yeah.
with that ends episode 7 at
Next
the
time
Gates
is
of
the last
Paradise.
one.
That's right. We're finally ending it. It's gonna be done. So, are we rating this one? Because I forget. I feel like we haven't rated.
We haven't rated a lot of them. Let's just wait.
Mostly because just because we've been talking about it. Just because we've been talking about it.
Yeah. But we'll rate it in the next one. So like I said before, go back, watch the other 6, watch this one, and then we'll see you tomorrow.
That's right. Find it on YouTube. We have a whole playlist.
Thank you so much for listening. We love you. Goodbye, folks.